Good evening to all of you joining this live. I will just give few seconds to allow people to enter to join the live before I start. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. We'll just give few seconds to allow people to join before we start updating with the COVID situation in the country. Just as a reminder, this is the COVID Gambia platform. We've been coming out live to inform our followers about the COVID situation in the country since the beginning of the pandemic. We started these lives a couple of weeks ago, I want to say. Before that and until today, we are constantly trying to update our followers with the COVID situation in the country by posting relevant, verified information to let people know about the reality. There's so much misinformation going around, and it can easily cause a chaos, be a cause of chaos. So we try to come out live to clarify various issues and to also bring clarity to certain situations that might be a bit confusing or puzzling to the public. So like I always say during the live videos, we are not doctors, we are not members of the government. We're just concerned citizens who decided to create this platform as a contribution towards the fight against the COVID-19. So this is something that we intend to do regularly, maybe not every day, but as frequently as possible, especially when there is a reason to come out live and to update the followers whenever we gather enough relevant information. So tonight, there are just few information that are necessary to air. So we will be letting you know about that. Like we are used to doing it every evening, we'll just update you with the figures that we've received from the authorities regarding the COVID situation in the country. So the latest report we received today is dated the 9th of August, which means that 3 days ago. This is a report from the cases that have been taken from the ground some 3 days ago and are being shared with the public today. So the figures of the 9th of August, meaning 3 days ago, that's what we are presenting to you tonight. And today we are the 12th of August. So the figures shows that there's on 350 tests conducted on the population, there is 131 cases that came out positive, meaning that the new figures as of the 9th of August are of 131 new cases, which makes it a total of 1,197 cases since the beginning of the pandemic, meaning that actually there are 1,197 active cases in the country. Out of that, there's 247 people who recovered. Like we always say, COVID doesn't mean death. Some people recover from the COVID-19. Some other people, unfortunately, lose their life. And this is the case with the account of death that the country has registered since the beginning of the pandemic, which is 33 deaths in total. In total, from the beginning of the pandemic to date, the country has registered 33 deaths. So as of today, the total number of cases, active cases in the country is 1,197. These are the figures from the beginning of the pandemic till the 9th of August, which means 3 days ago. We're still waiting to receive the update from the last 3 days, I want to say. So those will probably come out subsequently, starting from tomorrow and so on and so forth. Yeah. So that's the information regarding the COVID situation, the number of cases, the case update regarding the COVID-19 in the country. After that, as part of the news that we've been gathering, we can see clearly that the authorities are on the ground trying to monitor the compliance regarding the mask in the country. And we can see that in the combos here, the police has been patrolling around Serekunda and have been warning people who have not complied with the wearing of the mask in public places. So we came across some information this afternoon showing the police patrolling in the streets of Serekunda, and giving a strict warning to people who have been found not complying with the mask regulation. We hope that more and more people will begin to really get conscious about the importance of wearing this mask. And this is also an update that we try to do daily through our platform and our other activities. And the public has to be informed of the importance of wearing a mask and the importance to comply with the rule, because the mask has now been made mandatory in the Gambia, meaning that everybody has to be wearing a mask in public places, and in any place where it is made obligatory, meaning that if you go to a supermarket, if you join a public vehicle, anywhere where you know you're going to be encountering other people, you need to be wearing a mask. The not complying with this rule can cause you to be fined a fine of $1,000, which would be really unfortunate, knowing that masks are costing something like around $75 to $100 in town, So people need to, beyond the price, people need to understand that mask is meant to protect oneself and protect others. And it is very important to adopt the habit of wearing a mask going forward, because this is going to be, this is actually something that we will have to live with for a certain number of time, and that people have to get used to that habit of wearing a mask. So we better try to comply with this new rule and try to adjust to it. It might not be easy for everyone, but I know that there are exemptions, because the public state of emergency press release that had been released recently showed clearly that some people who are having respiratory distress through asthma and other pathologies like that are exempt from wearing a mask in certain circumstances. But the general rule is that everybody has to be wearing a mask. This is the general rule, and those who do not comply will have to deal with the authorities. And we hope that people get aware of it and gradually comply with this measure as soon as possible. More and more people are beginning to comply with it, but there are still lots of work to do about it. And we will not relent in trying to inform the population on the importance of wearing a mask and trying to sensitize the public as frequently as possible. And I hope that all the viewers who are also watching the lives and all the other platforms that are relaying important information will also try to share those valuable information with their entourage, with their families, and to make sure that everybody gets the right type of information, and especially the reason behind some of these measures. That's the most important thing. Beyond that, let me check quickly. It has also come to our attention that about 5 people have been convicted of a crime, and they've been asked to pay $5,000 or go to jail. And that was the fine was put on them after not respecting the curfew that have been imposed on the country. Those people who have been found not respecting that curfew have been caught by the police or by the authorities and have been fined with an amount of $5,000, which is really unfortunate, because it is true that the curfew time is 10 p.m. So anybody that is found on the streets at that time will be eventually caught by the authorities and fined. So it's really unfortunate that some people still are not complying with this measure. And we hope that going forward, more and more people will try to comply, especially those that are not complying actually, will try to comply with this rule to not find themselves in trouble, because it's really unfortunate in these difficult times for somebody to have to pay $5,000 or appear in court for failure of respecting this measure of curfew. Yes, so this is the situation regarding some of the measures. It has come to our attention this afternoon also via a press release that the government has reviewed some of the restrictions that they had put as part of the public state of emergency. So some of these measures are regarding the trading of food products in markets. It is still from that, there's no changes when it comes to that. The previous, I want to say, release stated that the markets will open from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. I think that it's still the case. There's no changes in that sense. It's still from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So traders in food products and in all markets across the country are allowed to operate between the hours of 6 a.m. and 2 p.m. Again, we repeat it again, when the authorities say 6 p.m., it means that before 6 p.m., if you are found in the street trying to access the market, you might find yourself in trouble. So try to be at the market come 6 p.m. or after 6 p.m., not before. And again, when we say that the operators of the traders in food products are allowed to operate between the hours of 6 a.m. and 2 p.m. It means that your place should be closed comes 2 p.m., before 2 p.m. It's not at 2 p.m. prompt that you should start packing up your things and trying to rush. You might again find yourself in trouble. So to avoid any type of trouble, let's try to abide by these measures and respect them to the best of our ability. One of the changes that we've noticed in this new press release is that traders in non-food products in market shall open from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. This is a new amendment, I want to say, as part of this press release. Traders, meaning that anybody selling any other goods other than food products, is allowed to open from the hours of 3 p.m. till 7 p.m. I think that this is going to be making life a bit more easier for people, for consumers, and also for traders who were a bit worried regarding their businesses when they were asked to not operate, and also all the consumers who could not access certain type of goods because the places were closed and inaccessible. So that has been amended by the authorities, and non-food traders are now allowed to operate between the hours of 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And we hope that this is how the general public is going to comply and respect these new operating hours. All non-food retail outlets located outside markets shall open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is what the press release says. All non-food retail outlets located outside markets shall open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. All markets shall remain closed on Sundays for routine cleansing and fumigation, meaning that on Sunday there is no activity in the markets. Nobody is allowed to come and sell any good in the markets because there will be some cleansing exercise going on there, and also some fumigation of places to ensure that the corona does not install itself in those areas. So everybody should be aware that on Sunday there is no market that is going to be operational in the country. And again, the press release reads that the daily curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. remains in place throughout the Gambia, meaning that there's no change in that sense. The previous press release from the authorities stated that the curfew time as 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. and it remains that way, even with these new amendments. That side has not been amended by the authorities. So the curfew time remains at 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. And I hope that this is clear to everybody and that everybody will be complying to avoid getting in trouble with the authorities. That's the least that we wish to anyone during these difficult times. Okay. We saw news from the MRC also, an announcement. They informing the general public that their service at their gate clinic in Fajara are now restricted until further notice. The public will be duly informed when full service resume at the clinic. This is very inconvenient, obviously, to the general public. Many people go to MRC at very early hours of the morning to be able to access the MRC services and be able to consult a doctor or do some lab tests and so on and so forth. So the fact that MRC will not be allowing the public to access their premises and their facilities until further notice, it's a big inconvenience, but it's important for people to know, because people come from various parts of the country to access the MRC where they believe that they can access good healthcare. And if they are not privy to this type of information, it will be very difficult for them to return back to where they came from. And it will be a very big disappointment and a loss of resources also, knowing that the fares are not very cheap. So having to travel all the way from upcountry or no matter what part of the Gambia you are traveling for expecting to see a doctor or to access some medical healthcare at the MRC and find yourself at the gate with nobody allowing you entry can be very inconvenient and disappointing. So I hope that people would be sharing this information with the general public also, to avoid anybody going through the hustle of accessing MRC only to find a disappointment there. MRC is closed for the public for now until further notice. That's a very important information that everybody should try and share, okay? What else do I have in my notes here? Yesterday we mentioned that the stadium, the authorities are currently building some tents, or I want to say mobile hospital at the stadium to be able to accommodate the sick people, because apparently the health care facilities around town are all overwhelmed. This is the information that's coming from the ground and from some health workers. All the hospitals are congested and not having enough place to cater for more sick people. So as we're going, unfortunately, and as we are seeing the number of COVID rising in the country, more and more COVID positive people around, it's going to require some facilities, obviously, to accommodate some of these patients that are in their need of support, might be oxygen or other type of healthcare. So this hospital that is being built in the stadium is going to hopefully be of good use and help some of these people that are in dire need of assistance. We're receiving messages via our platform here on COVID Gambia, some people who are in other parts of the Gambia, not necessarily in the Combo area, and they are asking us where to go because they've maybe approached some healthcare facilities and not been able to get admitted there. Some of them also calling us, telling us that they've been trying to reach the 1025 number and that nobody is answering, or that the health workers, the people that are answering their calls, frontline workers, are telling them to self-isolate without further information. So it's a bit confusing for the public when they do not know where to go or who is going to attend to them, knowing that they cannot just board any public transport to go in the nearest healthcare facility. Because if they're not sure that they are positive or not, it's going to be very risky for them to board a public vehicle and try to go for checkups anywhere around town. So this is something that the authorities obviously have to deal with, and I'm sure that they are dealing with it. Like they keep on saying, they lack capacity, they lack resources. There's lots of healthcare workers that have been tested positive, so that has really strained the capacity of the healthcare system of the country that was already in a bad shape. So we hope that going forward, there will be measures put in place for all these people who find themselves self-isolating in their houses, hoping to have some healthcare at some point, or hoping to be tested to know if they're actually COVID positive or not. Might have more to discuss. Again, in the advices that we've been receiving from either the WHO or the health authorities in the country, it always says that we should avoid touching our nose, our eyes, and we should always practice washing our hands, applying the social distance measures, like never be in front of a person who is speaking directly in your face. Always try to move a little bit backward with your face mask on to avoid that person speaking directly in your face. Protect yourself. Avoid shaking hands, obviously, and constantly wash your hands every time you go out and get back home. Make sure to wash your hands. Make sure that washing your hands become the first thing that you do, and you should never forget. I'm seeing some questions now that I've done my presentation. I will try to answer some of the questions that are coming based on my capacity to answer, because again, like I said, we are not health professionals, and we're not part of the government also. So there's just so much questions we can answer, and we'll try to do that to the best of our ability. Hello, how are the poor people provided by food? Okay, this is a question that is directed to the authorities and clearly not us. We do not have the capacity to answer this. This is the authority that should be answering this type of question. Have they put in place any relief package for the poor people? Apart from the food distribution that we've seen happening a couple of months ago, I want to say, have everybody been catered for in terms of the food distribution? This is a question that unfortunately we have no answer for, and it's important to turn out to the right authorities to ask this type of question. Maybe you can go to the health ministry's page and post that question. You might be lucky to have somebody respond to you, or else forward your question to the right authority. But this is not the right place to ask this type of question, unfortunately. This was a question from Alexander Pitchpurse. Yeah. And we have Tijan Sar, who asked, who is praying for COVID Gambia, saying, may Allah subhanahu Ta'ala protect the Gambia from the air, on land, and from the sea. Ameen. Allahumma ameen. We just say ameen to your dua, Tijan Sar. Thank you so much. May Allah answer your dua. Stay blessed, honorable, safe, and unbothered, inshallah. Ameen. Allahumma ameen. Thank you very much, Tijan Sar, for this beautiful dua. Selector Charles, we saw you yesterday. Thank you for being here again today. Thank you, thank you. And your question is, why are the fabric shops just open for 3 hours from 3 to 6 p.m.? They are the ones making masks. They should have given them at least 6 or 7 hours to be able to sew the masks. I think you're perfectly right, but this again is a directive from the authorities, and there's just so much we can do. Whenever the authorities decide something, we can always try to discuss with them for them to review some of these amendments if we feel that they are not really favoring the population, especially in this time of distress where face masks have been made mandatory in the Gambia, and face masks are what the population really need to be accessing to protect themselves, especially in the public places. So the fabric places, we agree, should be open for a longer period of time, and all the places producing face masks and all those places should also be open for a longer period to be able to cater for the public and produce as many as possible daily. Yeah. So thank you, Selector Charles. I hope I answered your question, but then we should still try to get to the authorities to discuss with them and show them whatever is inconveniencing the general public regarding these measures that have been released for the population to abide by. So you should also try and see how you can reach out to the authorities to put your question across, and hopefully you might get a better answer than the one I gave. Okay, thank you. Well, let me just check my notes quickly and see if I have anything more to discuss regarding the information that we had put together for you this evening. It seems as if I've covered all the points that I wanted to share with the public this evening. We obviously keep we try to stay alert, I want to say, when it comes to all the information that we believe the public can benefit from. So whenever we come across an information that we know is worth sharing, we try to compile it and do a summary of it and come and present it to the public, because it's very important for people to be informed, and having to go and grasp information right and left and center is not very easy and convenient, and we know that this is how things are going. People have to be looking for information on different platforms, so it can be quite disturbing at times, but you need to know, what you need to know is that on COVID Gambia, we try to gather all the information from all the reliable sources. Sometimes it might be some of our colleagues' platform. Yesterday, Haruna Drame via the Paradise TV invited Alassane Senghor, who is the former COVID-19 coordinator and the Secretary General of the Red Cross, and we paid very keen attention to the discussion, and we extracted the very important points, even though everything was very important in that interview. But then we ended up presenting the key points of that interview to the general public, and I'm sure that not many people were privy to watch that interview at the time. So it was important for us to relay the information on our COVID Gambia platform here, and many people benefited from it because we received messages from the public after telling us that they're happy that we are relaying information in such a way. So your words are very encouraging. We're trying to do our best to keep you informed and to post relevant, verified information gathered from the authorities or from any reliable source. And we obviously post it before presenting, before coming out live. We always post those information on our platform. So if you scroll through our page, you will be getting lots of information, some of which I'm actually presenting orally. So this is what we intend to do going forward, even if we do not come live every day because it's quite challenging. But as soon as there is any relevant information to share with the public, know that we will be here to share it with you live. Thank you to all of you who are joining this live. Thank you so much. It's very encouraging to receive your message. We're doing that, COVID Gambia is doing this out of concern and out of real worry regarding this COVID-19 situation in the country. As Gambians, we all need to contribute in our own capacity in trying to combat this virus, and informing people is one very good way of combating the COVID-19. Information is power. Once you are informed, you are better equipped to face the challenge and to also prevent yourself from catching the virus by applying the measures. So please also try to share the information with those who are not connected, your family, your friends, whoever is not connected. Let them know. If you hear any valuable information on this platform or on any other one, please try to inform the public. Paradise TV, Kerfatu, what's the name? Fatou Kamara's platform, they're all relaying very, very important information on daily basis. So always try to look for good information, and know that our platform is here compiling all those information and presenting them to you. So never hesitate to log into our page and get reliable, verified information. Thank you so much for joining, and then we will probably try to come back to do a live in Mandinka this time, because not everybody understands English, and it's important for everybody to get reliable information and to get informed and if not at the same time, but for everybody to have the right type of information at hand. So we always try to also do our live in another local language, and going like some of my colleagues have been doing it in Wolof, in Fula, you name it. So we've also tried to do it in Mandinka here and there. So that's something that we'll continue doing going forward. And we like to receive your comments. So let us know all the time what you think about the program and what you think we should improve, or what type of information you would like to receive from us. It helps in improving, of course. So we thank you so much for following this live, and then hopefully we'll see you later or tomorrow. Thank you.